So, what's the biggest, I think one of the single biggest problems that the sport has got? And I think it's what I've said in my description. I think a big problem, which has been demonstrated today on Facebook actually, is that there is a small group of idiots, assholes, haters, trolls, jealous people, whatever you want to call them. And I was prompted to do this video because I've just been on Facebook and I've seen a guy called John Hunt. I don't know John personally, but from what I see, he's a successful racer. And he's pretty much said on Facebook, you know what, I've had enough, I'm giving up. Now what's encouraging for John, and again I don't know John at all, but what's encouraging for John is he's had over 80 comments on his post from friends of his saying, don't give up, John, ignore the people, don't go on Facebook, don't interact with these people and just crack on doing what you're doing. And that's exactly the right advice to do. And it's sad to see someone like John, who from what I've read about him and from what I know about him is a successful guy. And that's probably one of his big problems, that he's successful. And that brings a jealousy in. And I've had it myself. And I haven't even started keeping birds yet. It's 4 weeks this weekend since I started getting back involved. And I already have my nice little group of hating, trolling arseholes. I have a little particular group in Australia who only this morning were accusing me of setting up my websites to steal people's info. I have people Googling my name and only coming up with the bad bits. And I've probably got a little group here. Well, I know I have. I've got a little group here in the UK of people that don't particularly like me and they've never met me or spoke to me either. And that's just in 4 weeks. What's it going to be like in 4 years? But here's the other thing. To counter all of that, in the space of the 4 weeks that I've been involved, I have met some really nice people who ultimately, over a period of time, will become friends. And the amount of good, positive people that I've met far outweigh the arseholes that I've encountered so far. So what do? If they're spreading complete out and out lies with you, about you, you state your case, and that's it. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I am not one who just watches people talk crap about me and ignores them, which has been the advice I've had. And I'm used to this. I've had trolls and haters since I've been online, and it's something, which is a long time. It's something I've learned that if you're someone that everybody likes, you're not doing something right. You're always, the best character to be is polarizing. But you know what? In this sport, it just seems to be a whole other level. Whatever hassle, and like I said, I don't even know John Hunt, whatever hassle he's had has made him post 6 hours ago that he's given up the sport. And I spoke to somebody else yesterday. Maurice O'Donnell told me about a guy that had that much hassle after he raised a lot of money for his federation. This guy had that much hassle that he ended up giving the sport up within a year and a half of him being involved. That's sad. That's really sad. Now, I, for one, I'll tell you right now, I don't care what anybody says, what anybody does, writes about me. I'm here and I ain't going anywhere. No level of any crap and BS will ever make me do what I don't want to do. Ever. But obviously, people like John Hunt and other people are that peed off with it that it's getting to them. And what is that all about? It seems to me that John's a successful flyer, so jealousy has to be a big part of that. And that's the other thing, isn't it? Like, in the UK, if you do well, people will do you down for doing well. That's not the case in other areas of the world. If you do well, for instance, in the USA, people will congratulate you and pat you on the back. And in Europe as well. And it seems to me that there's a higher percentage of arseholes in the pigeon game that are jealous and want to do people down, especially when they're successful, more than normal, more than average population. And I think it's a pretty big issue. Yes, there's a lot of other issues. There's the raptor issue. There's the whole organisational issue. The RPRA issue. There's a bunch of other issues. But when you read something like I've just read on John Hunt's page, that's a sad state of affairs, that whatever crap he's had off people makes him want to give up a hobby or a sport, ultimately, that he enjoys doing. That's pretty sad to read that. Again, what's gratifying and what's great about it is that if you read John's post and then you read all the comments under it, well, last time I checked, there was nearly 80 comments, and every single one of them was saying, don't give up, carry on, and ultimately these people were friends and supporters of his. So it's not all bad. But it's a pretty sad state of affairs that in the last 2 days I have heard of 2 people leaving because of all the crap and hassle. And like I said, in the space of 4 weeks being back involved in this, I've had my fair share of crap and hassle as well. The difference now is I just laugh at these people. I had a guy in Australia this morning telling me I was an effing idiot and just to F off, and I said right back at you, and what else can you say to these people? This was the guy that was perpetuating rumours that my 2 websites that I've set up are there to install stuff on people's computers. I mean, where do people invent this stuff from? It's laughable, and that's the only reaction it deserves, is to laugh at people. It's easy to knock people. It's far better to support them. And I think the sport in general, people wonder why the sport is declining. And like I said, there's a bunch of reasons why the sport is declining, but this kind of stuff doesn't help. Why would somebody new get involved in this if they saw any of this stuff going on? Why does it not have a welcoming element to it? Why doesn't it not have a success-based element to it? Why is there so much jealousy? Maybe it's people narrow-mindedness. Maybe it's people's envy and whatever else they've got going on in their own lives. But anybody that's a hater and a troll, and that's what they are, is probably more of an indication of what's going on in their lives than yours. And it just hit me after seeing John Hunt's post that, like I say, I don't know John. I know nothing about the guy. But to see that made me feel quite sad. Then I read all the comments and felt a lot better, and hopefully he will change his mind about leaving and carry on and screw everybody that is negative towards him in any way, and crack on with what he ultimately does and loves best, which is flying his birds. But I think we've got some problems, and we've got to look at how we change it. Like I say, I've experienced it myself in the last few weeks. I have people spreading pure crap about me. I have others that have gone onto Google and Googled my name, which you can do. I have no issue in my past. I have no issue with people knowing that I used to be the owner of the biggest amount of porn sites in the world. I have no issue people knowing that I lost all of the millions I made from it. I have no issue with people knowing that I grew weed and got locked up for it for 2 years, because that's actually what happened. What I do have an issue with is people calling me a scammer based on what they read from a failed business venture that went wrong, that I've pledged to make good to absolutely everybody long term that it happened to. I know that no founder of a tech company that would ever do that, but I will. I have an issue with people calling me a scammer, because I'm not. If I was a scammer, I'm smart enough to be a scammer, and I'd be sitting on a beach back in the Bahamas with a few million behind me. So what's people's real issue? I have people saying I'm back into the pigeon sport to focus on a group of people to get involved in my Bitcoin business, which is my main business. I can tell you right now, there's a whole bigger group of more profitable groups to focus on to do that if I was indeed doing it. It's for my love of pigeons since the age of 12 that the reason that I'm in doing it. And because I posted a Bitcoin related video saying if you're in the business of pigeons or in any business, you should accept cryptocurrencies, and here's my book for free. I had people saying, there's the real reason. Told you he was involved in this to focus on other people, to get into his crypto Bitcoin pyramid scheme. Again, narrow-minded people maybe haven't got a lot else going in their life, and ultimately, like I've said before, I have zero interest in making a penny out of anything crypto coin related, and if I can help people, which I have, that's the other good thing about it. Since I posted that video, I've had some quite high profile people in the pigeon sport and business contact me wanting me to help them and educate them, which I will completely do for free. But I think when you read what I've read today and what I've read about me, and I smile now because it is really laughable. This one particular idiot in Australia complained about me being on the radio show that they have over there, and now informs people that I've set up my websites to subversively take people's info. Quite imaginative, I would imagine, is about the best you could say about these people. But like I said, moving forward and being positive about it, social media is great, but at the same time, social media can work against you. And obviously with John Hunt, that's what's happened, and other people that I've spoken to. And life's too short for that stuff. Life's too short to be put off doing a hobby and a sport that you love because of a few people. Like I said, I've been blessed in the last 4 weeks to have met some amazing people and spoke to some really, really good people. Every day I seem to speak to at least one really good guy. And that makes me smile because it's great. And I know these people for long term are going to be in my sport and hobby for a long time. And that's really good. But the rule is simple. It's the same with these people. It's funny because it's like it must be like hating and trolling people must be like a bit of a crack cocaine to these people, because it's simple. If you don't like what I'm about or you don't like what I'm saying, simply don't watch it or don't follow me or whatever it is you're doing. You know, don't go to my website and look at what I'm doing. Pretty simple solution, really. But yet people still want to get involved spreading the word or whatever word they think it is. And I say, to conclude, I think people need to have a really long, hard look at themselves. I simply, 4 weeks ago, set out to help promote and revolutionize the sport of racing pigeons for years to come. I will continue to do that. Nobody will put me off it. One of the things with the great things I've been through in my years as an entrepreneur of ups and downs and businesses, that I have got a massive amount of resilience built up from everything that I talked about and a lot more. And that resilience that I've got means that I don't give two hoots what people think. I care about people spreading lies about me. I have no problem with people, like I said, stating what's real, which is, yes, I had used to run porn sites, and I unfortunately made a bad decision to pay my debts off after that of growing marijuana, and got caught for it and did 2 years. Incidentally, I met a couple of really nice pigeon people while I was in that time, and have valued friendships that I will continue to value for the rest of my life from it. I have no regrets in that stuff. Life happens and everything happens for a reason. But like I said, I do object to people spreading rumours about me that are completely false. And I hope John Hunt watches this, and I hope, John, if you are watching this or you hear about it, screw these people. Screw what people think. Crack on. Fly your pigeons. Do what you do best, and ultimately what you're talented at. Keep going and don't give up, mate. Don't let anybody put you off what you're doing. I'm taking my own advice and I'm doing it myself. So there you go. There's my conclusion. There are things we can do, and we mainly ignores it. Take yourself out of the social situation that's putting you in touch with these people. Ignore these complete idiots and remove yourself from it. And if you do want some shameless self-promotion time, if you do want to become part of a place that suffers no idiots, trolls, haters, and negative people, then you can simply go to racingpigeonnetwork.com and sign up, which is my brand new social network just dedicated to racing pigeons. And go there and you can sign up. We're at 100 members already, and we've only launched it 2 days ago, and there's going to be lots of big things happening. And it's a place that, trust me, will have no negativity, no haters, no trolls, no idiots in there. Because yes, it is a social network available to all for the sport, but at the end of the day, I'm not tolerating any of that crap in there. So feel free to join as well. And if you are affected by these idiots, trust me, they're not worth it. Laugh at them and crack on. Thanks for watching. Catch you soon. Keep flying.